Yeah, look, I mean, it's a great question. But all of those names, largely in Australia, have been looking to move downstream to varying degrees, and we've been looking to actually capture more of the margin through the whole lithium value chain. So I suspect if they do sign offtake agreements, they may look to have some interest into the downstream manufacturing and try and capture more of the margin. But it's not always, one of the things that Australia's been very good at is getting the dirt out of the ground, exporting it, and then letting the manufacturing or processing happen offshore. We've seen as these companies have been trying to build out the manufacturing and downstream capacity in Australia, that it's actually, seen significant cost inflation. There's labour constraints in Western Australia, so it hasn't been all roses around the downstream part of the processing.
Oh, come on, in the next 5 to 10 years, you can completely automate the downstream. But moving aside, because there are a number of companies by emission that I didn't put there, the likes of Allchem, because, a lot of their lithium they're pulling out is in Argentina, so I tried to keep it separate. But just in terms of what these companies... I suppose what the realistic expectation can be, because we can say that, Jokowi is looking for offtake agreements, the industry is looking for offtake agreements coming from Australia, but the production isn't there yet because they're basically running at full production just to meet the agreements or the prospective production to meet the agreements of a lot of these car makers. So is there enough in terms of the ability to ramp up any kind of significant production for us to assume that we can see this in short order, or is this something we're talking about maybe 3-5 years where we can see something substantive actually taking place?
Look, there's a lot of additional supply that has been mooted, both in exploration and development across a number of different mines, different miners, and sure, it might not be in production today, but there's a lot of capacity there to actually keep investing and develop and scale new mines and bring them to market. So we actually think there is, there's a lot of capacity there to continue to bring lithium to market in a number of high quality assets and businesses. So yeah, we'd be quite optimistic that long term we can continue to see good growth in lithium and supply into that market. The level of demand is we think it's going to go through an S curve over the next the next 5 to 10 years, and as we approach that inflection point, the growth is going to be exponential in kind of demand at the backside. We need companies to be going out exploring. We need people to be drilling out resources. We need people to be investing in and adding mine capacity as well. So yeah, we're quite optimistic, and we think there's a great place for Western Australia and Australian resources to be brought into that market to help capture or help support the demand, the global demand, the EV transition, decarbonisation, and ultimately, ultimately deliver into that demand profile.